Every time a new luxury community opens around Sarasota, buyers start asking that same question. Is it actually worth paying the premium? Or are you just buying a fancy entrance with some upgraded landscaping? So today we're touring a neighborhood that's getting a lot of attention because it promises resort-style living, beautiful architecture, and one of the most recognizable names in Florida new construction. But after walking these homes myself, I found a few things that were very impressive, and one thing that might make some buyers think twice. So before you spend tens of thousands more, let's find out whether this community actually earns its price tag. So today we're going to start in the 62s. This is the 62-foot wide section here, and this is the Pallazio II. It's a 3-bedroom, 3.5 bath, and this one's around $2833 under air. They actually have a den as well, an office space, so that's pretty cool. Let's head inside and show you what we got. So as we just step in the front entrance, you can see it's a rather long foyer hallway, kind of a grand entrance. Really wide open, good feel to it. And just to my right is where you come in off of your 3-car garage. This is really nice. Put your mail, put your groceries, maybe hang some things, maybe have a memory board there, whatever you need. Here's your 3-car garage. You see 3 bays. That smaller one right there, a lot of people use that just for maybe a golf cart or their Florida garage. That is a nice extra added benefit of a 3-car garage. Lots of closets throughout here. We're going to show you one through there. We're in the first bedroom with lots of natural light up front, and all 3 bedrooms, yes, they are en suites. So you got a tub and shower. Very nice. You can see the towel all the way through the top. You can get all these features. Whatever you see here, you're going to be able to get. There's the closet for this bedroom. So this is kind of like a suite right off the front. Once again, you got a coat closet, which is kind of rare here. And I used to see them in the 50s, 60s, and 70s homes in Florida, but they're not always found. So that's kind of nice to have extra storage. And here is the office den that I was talking about. Cove ceilings, French doors. This is kind of nice. So you still get your 3 bedrooms. Now down here, I'm going to show you a whole different wing. Now right here, you've got the half bath for guests, which is nice. So that doesn't impede anybody has to clean up their bedroom bathroom for guests. And right here, you're going to find another full bath. This one with the shower out to the ceiling. Really good, spacious walk-in closet. This is a really nice suite. So kind of off down the side. So if you got a mother-in-law living with you, older child, a little bit more privacy, it's right here. And over here, you've got your laundry with natural light, I might point out. So this is a good sized room with plenty of cabinetry, and we're going to show you a surprise there in a second. So stick with me. You're going to like what I'm going to show you here in a bit. Now, over here, we're already in our great room. So you have a niche, as you shown here, where they put the dining room table, but it's not exclusive to that. You can do a lot of different things. Big, long cove ceiling here. And an extensive, as you can see, island. Very nice. We are in a gas community. People love that. Who missed that from up north. Getting to see more and more of that. So look at that thickness. So those are solid, very solid countertops. Really nice deep sink, natural light coming in. So if you're a baker, you'd love this because this is one big island where you can really spread out the dough. To give you an idea of what the whole house looks like, here's kind of an eating kitchen. They got the extended, if you'd like this, you got the extended cabinets and counters, the built-ins, the uppers, everything is possible. So you got some sliders right off of here, convenient, and another triple slider back here. So we're going to show you that primary in a second, but I'm going to peek out here and show you just how expansive this outdoor living is. So that is where your truss is. So this is all covered as part of your house. They've built in a Florida kitchen. You can see you can dine out here. You can set up a TV. You can do whatever you want out here. It's really great. And then we're still shaded and we're still covered from the rains. And then you have a nice, beautiful pool with infinity screen. So what you see, you can get. So just wanted to show you that. These all slide back into each other. These are really nice if you want. Slide those back, indoor, outdoor. That is a huge plus. So as we just head right around this corner, you're going to notice the primary. Lots of natural light. Lots of room for furniture. That is indented. That's what's nice about it. So the furniture is not sticking out into the room. Cove ceilings, all of that. All kinds of trim work. And check this out. So you don't even notice that glass there. It's so fine. It's very nice. But that is just one big glass piece. You've got the bench seat. Turn on the showers. There you go. Natural light coming through. Good amount of room here on your vanity. And then here is a really great closet. Really extended space. Let me show you everything here. Basically on all four sides, you can get a lot through here. And here's a nice little feature. You're right off the laundry, so just throw your stuff right in here and you're good to go. So that is the Palazio II. Not the Pallazio I, but the Palazio II. I'm going to head back here really quick to give you one last glimpse at the main living area. So as we mentioned, 2833 under air. Plenty of room for a number of different type of lifestyles. And this one, we're going to give you the price here at the end of the video so you can get an idea of what you can get and maybe a possible inventory. So stay tuned.
Did you pay attention to the separations between the bedrooms and how much square footage that you'd actually use? So even though it's a large home, it doesn't feel like Taylor Morrison simply just added square footage to make that final number of over 3,000 square feet sound more impressive. And the 3-car garage is a big advantage, especially here in Florida. You know, buyers need that extra storage, or maybe they want a golf cart, or maybe room for more than 2 vehicles. Plus, the optional outdoor living configuration can also turn this type of home into the type of home that people really picture and imagine the Florida lifestyle in. But the model also shows why buyers need to separate the floor plan from the decorating fun. You know, the furniture, wall treatments, lighting, pools, and landscaping, all those model home upgrades. They're designed to create that emotional reaction. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you need to know how much of what you just saw is included and how much of that is optional and what the home will feel like without every upgrade. That's where the difference between a base price in the mid 700s and the actual finished price can become really substantial. Now, if this is your first time on our channel, make sure you subscribe, because every week we tour new communities, compare builders, and break down what's new and what buyers need to know throughout Sarasota, Manatee County, and the entire Florida Suncoast. My name is Rob Rovnak, and every day we get calls, texts, and emails from people just like you who are considering making a move here. So whether you're moving in 1 week or 1 year, just reach out and we'll help you make a smooth move to sunny Sarasota. So one important distinction with this 62-foot collection is that you're simply not just buying a larger version of one of the smaller homes. These plans have a more substantial street presence, 3-car garages, wider home sites, and layouts that feel more appropriate to this price category. And at the time of filming, Taylor Morrison is showing 5 different floor plans, ranging from roughly 2,275 to over 3,000 square feet. The current lineup includes the Palazio, the 3-car version, the Cresta, the Cascata, the Palazio, and the Pallazio II. And that gives buyers plenty of flexibility. But it also means that you should compare the plans carefully, because the largest home isn't automatically the best use of your money. And be sure and stay tuned, because in the next couple of weeks, I'll bring you their 52-foot model homes, and you can compare those, especially if you're curious and you want to know whether those are maybe in your price budget. Maybe they're a little bit better priced. Stay tuned. Now, another factor is the location. Skye Ranch sits near Clark Road and Lorraine Road in eastern Sarasota. And it's surrounded by preserve areas, lakes, mature trees, and a very extensive trail system. So you're getting a newer master plan environment with access to daily conveniences, and you're close to I-75. But you're also farther east than many buyers might first realize. So if being close to downtown Sarasota, Siesta Key, or the beaches is a major priority, I'd drive those routes at the times that you'd actually be using them. And the setting is beautiful and quieter than many communities closer to town, but That distance is part of the decision, not simply a detail on the map. So let's look at the Cresta, because this is where the comparison might actually become useful. And at the time of filming, the Cresta starts at $714,999. So basically $715,000. That's the starting price, so remember that. And it offers 2,475 square feet, so you're giving up about 350 square feet compared to the Pallazio II. But you're keeping many of the things that make the 62-foot collection appealing. The question is whether the Palazio's additional space changes how you'd live in the home, or whether the Cresta gives you enough of that same experience at a lower starting point.
Now here is the Cresta. This is another in the 62 series. This one, of course, you can see 3-car garage. You got a nice little porch up front, and this one's 3 bedrooms, 3 baths, and 2,475. So basically a 2,500 square foot house. As you can see, the tile and the pavers, and let's head on in. So just like the Palazzo, you have a really grand entrance with a cove ceiling here. You put a little seat there, which is always great. You can put the shoes on when guests come in and out. Let's head to the left, and I'm going to show you this suite. So you've got the bathroom right adjoining to it. A lot of people like to close this off, maybe with a slider, put that in the door, because you have the possibility. I've done that in my own home. And then you have this bedroom right up front. Lots of natural light. Little sitting nook, full bath. As you notice, towel to the ceilings. You've got a nice little linen closet there. So it's kind of separated. And then on this side, that's where you're going to come in from your 3-car garage. Once again, I love any of these counters that allow you to put your keys, your mail, all that stuff that you do coming in from the garage. And there's your full laundry. AC is tucked inside. If you're not familiar with Florida, how they build, you've got your air handler inside for efficiency. They started that years ago. And just like the Palazzo, wanted to show you, they've got a nice den here, office, whatever you want. But that doesn't interfere, doesn't take away a bedroom, and you still have that added space. So it's really, a lot of people want to say it's a 4 because it doesn't have the closet. That's why we're saying it's a 3-3 with the den. So that's a really nice backdrop, kind of indent, allows for furnishings. Once again, really nice kitchens. Really, really long counters. Lots of counter space here. Once again, you get the corner pantry. I'll show you that here real quick. Just a little bit of extra space. And then just a simple pantry. And what some people might like, one thing you notice from the Palazzo versus this, the sink is in the island where it was not on the other one. So some people might like that instead. It gives you an idea of what's happening here as you're watching TV. Maybe you're cooking dinner, maybe you're entertaining. Gives you that view here. And this one has more of a dedicated area for the dining room. So more than enough space. Maybe a 360 of that. I'm going to peek out here real quick, give you an idea of what's happening on the patio. So this one, a little smaller, not that last Palazzo had a full length porch, or as we say here in Florida, lanai. You still can get your summer kitchen. As I mentioned, all this, and when you see these beams across here, that's one big concrete beam, and that is the exterior home. So you're sheltered from the rain and the sun. Once again, they've got some amazing pool packages you can get, from spas to having literally the infinity screens where nothing is in front of you. This is just the true Florida living outdoor space. Really, really nice. Let's head back on in, and I'm going to show you the rest of the home. So back from the main great room, if we make a right here, I'm going to show you another little wing. This is kind of a cool little nook, and I like the way it's set back because it gives really a lot of privacy, especially when you got a lot of family noise and all that. So here is the bedroom off of this. Very nice, more than adequate in size. And then once again, you've got that full bathroom, towel to ceiling. Really a nice job. So as we come out of here, got your own kind of like wing separate. I like that setback. And then let's head over to the primary. So over here, Once again, lots of natural light. You got the tray ceilings. And I like this niche, the way they've got this. Once again, furniture placement is very important, and that takes it out of the middle of the room. You've got a lot of space between the bed and such. You're not kind of crawling between two like you're going down an alleyway. Very nicely done. So really good size vanity, lots of space in between. Once again, the same similar setup, that large shower walk-in, transom window, and then as we saw in the other one, got a really good, really large, as I walk around and step inside the primary, pretty much except for the door, you've got shelving all around, so that really makes a difference for folks. So let's take one more peek. So this one, price-wise, this is going to be starting at $715. So that's a pretty good price. But once you're into it, for a lot of different things, we're going to maybe show you an inventory price that gives you an idea. But this is the Cresta. This is around 2,500 square foot. So if you want to downsize a little bit, and if it's just you and maybe one other person, or you and a child, or whoever that might be, this fits a lot of families as well. 3 bedrooms, 3.5 bath.
After touring both, I think the Cresta might be a more difficult decision than buyers might expect. So the Pallazio II creates the stronger first impression. And if you want a larger primary suite or more dramatic living space, you've got that, maybe more flexibility. And it's easy to understand the appeal, but the Cresta still gives you that 3-car garage, 3 full bathrooms, a generous main living area, and the wider 62-foot home site. So if you don't need nearly 2,900 square feet, the savings between these plans could be used for maybe a better home site, pool, outdoor kitchen, interior selections, or just simply save on the final purchase price. That's really the evaluation that I'd make here. So instead of asking which model looks better, ask which plan gives you the best finished home for the amount that you actually wanted to spend. So a beautifully optioned Cresta on maybe a better home site, maybe a stronger purchase than just getting a Pallazio II, where your budget forces you to compromise on the location or outdoor living or some of the finishes. On the other hand, if you'd eventually outgrow the Cresta or maybe regret not having that additional space, then stretching for the larger plan may make more sense. The right answer is found in how you live and what you want to allocate to the total budget. And of course, the homes are only part of what buyers are paying for. Esplanade residents usually make the choice based on this incredible lifestyle. So you have access to the larger Skye Ranch amenity network, which includes the hub with its resort-style pool, spa, cabanas, splash pad, children's pool, fitness center, indoor basketball court, rock climbing wall, and their cafe. Plus you've got Turner Park, which adds tennis, basketball, sand volleyball, sports fields, a community pier, a bark park, and the whole adventure park. And while you've even got the whole trails that connect right through the community. Really is impressive. Now, Esplanade is one of Taylor Morrison's most popular signature brands throughout the entire country. And it got its start right here in Sarasota with their first Esplanade community in 2012. And I remember it well as I worked on their very first commercial here for the community. And in this new Esplanade phase, you also get another resort campus called The Venue with its own pool and spa and a Bahama bar and grill. So you've got that, the fitness center, bocce courts, a bark park, and a fireside seating. So that's just exclusive to Esplanade residents here in Skye Ranch. And it's all due to open this coming January. And that brings us to one of the issues that I mentioned at the very beginning. So some of the features helping sell this new phase are still planned rather than completed already. And the existing Skye Ranch amenities are already substantial, really substantial. But the dedicated venue and Bahama bar are part of the future vision. So buyers need to understand which amenities are available now, which most of them are available today, and which are still coming. So they're expecting that the association fees are going to remain steady because they've already been budgeted for. So that should be pretty much static. But the planned amenities can be a tremendous benefit, but I wouldn't treat a rendering or an estimated completion date the same way that I treat something that's already open and already operating. So how much will all this fun cost? Well, at the time of filming, the HOA fee for the 62-foot single-family homes is $452.94. That's per month. And those figures need to be included when you're comparing Esplanade with pretty much any other new community because the purchase price is only one part of the cost. You also need to compare things like insurance, which I've put here, taxes, lot premiums, landscaping responsibilities, amenity fees, and just finding out what's included with these associations. So a higher fee may be reasonable when the amenities and the services are really valuable to you, but they still need to fit within your budget comfortably. So you have to ask yourself, is this how we really want to live in Florida? For some, the amenities are great, but not worth the price tag if you've never going to use them or have no plans to use them. But for others, it's a must-have, a dream come true for people who picture their Florida lifestyle with all these amenities. So, does Esplanade at Skye Ranch earn its premium? Let me know in the comments. So based on the two models that we toured, I think there's a lot more here than, of course, a fancy entrance and upgraded landscaping. The wider home sites, the 3-car garages, the architecture, floor plans, the existing Skye Ranch amenities, and the planned Esplanade Resort Campus create a really legitimate difference. But the value becomes much less, obviously, if you over-improve it, or the home that you choose is bigger than the plan simply because maybe you just got overwhelmed and fell in love with the model. The way I would do it, or my preference, would be to price any models as finished homes, not base price, and compare them on the same type of home site with the same type of features that you'd realistically choose. And that's really the only way that you'd know things like whether that Pallazio II's additional space is worth the premium, or whether the Cresta gives you a better balance of home site, upgrades, and monthly costs. And before signing anything in any community, I'd also verify that the current amenity timeline and HOAs and CDD obligations are all what you expect. Plus, the current incentives make a big difference in exactly what is the builder including at that moment, because the base can change. For instance, sometimes an upgrade becomes so popular in that community that it becomes part of the base layout and it's included in the home. If you're considering Esplanade at Skye Ranch, maybe one of their smaller models in Casilla at Skye Ranch, or comparing it with any other Sarasota area new community, reach out before you visit the sales center and save some time. We're the New Home Gurus, your one-stop new home shop. From helping you find the right community and the right builder, to negotiating the best possible deal on your next new home. I even wrote the book on it, on buying and negotiating new construction. So we know where buyers can save money and which costly mistakes they need to avoid. For living and buying in Sarasota, I'm Rob Rovnak. I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.